Welcome back. A group of herring fishermen are struggling under the immense weight of government bureaucracy, but relief could be on the way.
The Supreme Court hearing arguments in a pair of cases last week challenging the Chevron Doctrine that could change the administrative state forever and make it easier for family fisheries to do business.
Here with an update on the progress of those cases, Seafreeze Fisheries Liaison, Meghan Lapp. Meghan, it's great to have you with us tonight. I do want an update on where we stand at this point, but I also want to ask you about this. I mean, at issue here, essentially, to me, is that these regulatory agencies have become so onerous on business that it's almost impossible to do business, and that's what the main central problem is. Almost like establishing a fourth branch of government, which is the last thing that we need in this country.
Absolutely, absolutely. What this regulation did to our vessels was basically the government had an existing program that it wanted to expand, and it did not have the money from Congress to fund. So what they did was they just put the financial burden of expanding their own program directly on commercial fishermen and fishing vessels, to the point where commercial fishermen would have to be forced to pay government onboard monitoring agents sometimes more per day than the crew themselves were going to make.
So, Meghan, if you guys lose at the Supreme Court, what impact does this to have on the fishermen themselves? It seems like you can't do business if you're boarded and you're paying more to the government than you are making on the water that day. It doesn't make any sense. What's the consequence of loss at the court?
Well, for our vessels in particular, it could really force us out of a fishery that we've been in for 40 years. You know, we participated in it legally, sustainably, for 4 decades. And that would be very, very tragic.
Yeah. My understanding is that, everybody that is trying to conduct business in the way that they have been, they're upset because they feel like the regulators, they're not elected officials. There's no say from the public or the business community with respect to them imposing these kinds of regulations. And so that's really the issue, that there's no, they're sort of wondering where the authority comes from here.
Yeah. And what's very troubling is that when you're citizens suing the federal agencies, if they do overstep their bounds, as our case proves, the courts just defer to the agency and the agency wins, and you never get an actual fair hearing on the facts of your case. And one of the things that during the oral arguments that Justice Kavanaugh basically said was there are 2 classes of citizens when it comes to legal issues: citizens who are suing other citizens, and then citizens who are suing the government. And basically you have 2 standards. If you're a citizen suing another citizen, you have a much better chance of winning a lawsuit than if you are a citizen suing the federal government. And that is not equal justice under the law. You are creating 2 classes of people. And as you walk into the Supreme Court, up on the top of the building, it says equal justice under law. And, I'm hoping that this case actually restores that for this country.
Yeah, and to Jackie's point, who do you petition? Who do you go to with these nameless, faceless bureaucrats? It's a real problem, which is why conservatives like smaller, more limited government as opposed to this expansive government that has so much impact on our life. But Meghan, you recently testified at a hearing hosted by 3 GOP lawmakers in Maryland about the growing list of problems with offshore wind farms, including threats to marine life and local economies. Tell us about your testimony. What are you seeing from these windmills in the waters in which you guys all fish?
Yeah, so right now BOEM has leased 2.3 million acres off the east coast of the United States. They are preparing to lease more. A lot of these offshore wind leases are sited directly on commercial fishing grounds, historic and productive historic commercial fishing grounds. And BOEM refuses to recite them. We are rapidly losing our place of business with absolutely no consideration by the U.S. federal government. And so, my company is fighting that as well. The fishing industry is fighting that as well. And really, the discussion at the hearing the other day were very, very broad in nature, but I really focused on 2 things in my congressional testimony, one of which was the fact that Coast Guard search and rescue is going to be impeded by these offshore wind turbines. Offshore wind turbines interfere with marine radar, all classes of marine radar, including the Coast Guard's radar, and also helicopter search and rescue. So the Air Force has said that they cannot fly helicopters in onshore wind farms, which means that the Coast Guard cannot fly them in offshore wind farms. And so that has a tremendous impact on the safety and lives of U.S. mariners, which has completely gone unaddressed.
Wow. Meghan Lapp, thank you for being with us. Keep up the fight. Hope you guys win. Good luck.
The hypocrisy
Thank you.
is absolutely astounding. It's
That's right.
really